to be a part of Leadership Global, and this relationship with Linda has been just amazing. I feel like Leadership Global is my family. I don't have any family in the United States, so guess what? You are my family. There's no other way, right? And I see my friend Joanne Wyland here, and Emily, and I see Larry. Oh, you know, Larry, you're so brave. I think you're the only guy here, you know, like, but you're such a brave guy for being here, and I love you for that. He has an amazing product called Steady Straps, and really just amazing people are here, and you're all influencers, right? And being an influencer is a lot different than being an expert. It's a lot different than being a thought leader. An influencer is very different. So let me explain the difference between all three. And then if you guys don't mind, I will put in I'll start my PowerPoint presentation. I promise you that one thing, you will get a lot of this workshop right now, or webinar, whatever you want to call this is fine with me. You can put questions in the chat, and Linda later on will bring them up for me, or somebody will just stop me from talking and just ask the question. It's always as good as possible there. And so what is the difference between an expert, an influencer, a thought leader, and an influencer? An expert is basically somebody that is really good. Hi, Patricia. Is somebody that's really good at what they do. They are an expert in their field, but have a lot of content, but they don't have a lot of following. An influencer is somebody that, a thought leader is somebody that has a lot of influence, a lot of contacts, but not enough content or context also. But an influencer is somebody that has both. They walk their talk. They usually have a good expertise on what they're doing, and they also have a tribe that follows them, right? And that's what an influencer is. And I would prefer being an influencer more than any of the other two, because it means that I'm doing something, that I'm actually having impact. How many of you want to do that, right? Put a one in the chat. Let me know how many of you want to be influencers. So there are many stages that you can get on, and many stages that do different things. Like if you are, I know somebody asked me earlier, is it paid to play to, or is it paid to speak? I'm only about getting paid, guys. I don't know about pay to play, because not everybody is good about selling from the stage, right? I mean, sometimes it just doesn't even fit your personality, so don't fight it. It's a very lucrative business. It's really good to do, but if you're not able to close 25% of the room, it's not going to be good for you. Meaning you're going to get discouraged. You're not going to make the money you deserve and that you need to make. I'm all about getting paid, and that's all I do. For the past 24 years, I have been full-time getting paid to speak. And that is really what my passion is. Most importantly is that there's three things that we're missing in this industry: variety, diversity, and women speakers. Did I say that loud enough? Women speakers. Okay, I know Linda shared with you that we are missing 1 million speakers in the world and 1 million coaches in the world. 1 million, according to the brokerage firms that do this on full time, right? And they're like, oh my God, we're missing women. We have no women speakers. And I meet women every single day that tell me, what do you mean women speakers? I see women speaking everywhere. Yeah, but they're not getting paid, guys. So what do you want to do, right? Now, many people will ask me, well, how much do I charge? Okay, this is a part of what I do as a program, because I can definitely fee structure you. But before I say that, I want you to think this way, because a lot of you are speaking for free, or for no fee, as I like to say, right? I want you to think about this. I don't care how old you are, guys. I'm 54 years old, proud of it, no big deal. Every age is a good thing, right? But until this point in your life, you have been through things. You have education, experience, ups and downs. You've paid for it with money, blood, sweat, tears, aggravation, OMG, right? And why would you give it away for free? That's in your intellectual property. Don't give it away, right? People need, oh, am I frozen or are you guys frozen? Okay, are we back? Can everybody hear me? Because
Yeah,
I got
you're
frozen.
fine. You were frozen for a half a second. You're good
Oh,
now.
okay. Because everybody got in a good pause. Be careful, because you need to smile. If you know, like you're gonna, if your Zoom is gonna freeze, might as well smile. I end up with really crazy facial expressions, because I have no filter between my brain and my mouth. I tell people this, and I have to do this disclosure. I have a condition called verbal diarrhea. I say things like they are, right? I have no filter, not because I'm not professional, because I am me. And you can only be you, and authentically you means being you without saying a word. Does that make sense? Does a flower need to say that she's pretty? No, just be, right? And that's what I'm asking you to do in this industry, is just be. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about if somebody else is speaking on the same topic as you. You are you, uniquely you. Tomato, tomato, even if they've heard it before, you can just do you. And I know my friends who are speakers hate it when I say that. You do you, I'll do me, you know, that, but it's true. It's so true. I've been in this business now for 24 years, full-time speaking and getting paid. So I don't want to talk too much about me. I'll just get, if you guys don't mind, take me 2 seconds. I'll pull up the PowerPoint presentation so that I can follow in a better way for you. I don't think we're sharing yet. Oops, okay, let's do this. Oh, it was working. Okay, hold on. Where am I? Here I am. Okay, share screen. Okay, now here's how we do this one. I have to move stuff out of my way. Okay, everybody can see my screen? Awesome. So getting paid online, virtually or live events, let's agree, all of us, that you don't know what you don't know. Do you agree that you don't know what you don't know, right? I don't even know what I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know everything, but I've been in it for long enough to know good and to know quite enough, right? And enough to do my business. As Linda shared, 64,000 a day in America alone. What she didn't tell you about my book is that I interviewed over 3,400 event planners that pay speakers to put this book together. You can get it on Amazon. I'm not making money on the book. It's $4 on Kindle or something like that. It's ridiculous. Okay, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot of resources in my book that you can already use, so you don't really need me as much. 98% of speaker sheets are done wrong. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what do you mean, Orly? I mean, I have my information on there. I didn't say your information is wrong. I said they're done wrong. There's a scientific way to do the speaker sheet. I know a lot of people also tell me, oh, I have my bio. Yes, but you don't have your bio in the way that event planners want to see it. And that's the caveat. Do you guys understand that? Event planners, they did a survey on the most stressful jobs in America, right? And out of 100, number 1 was military jet fighter plane pilot. Number 6 was event planner. Number 2, I think, was traffic controller. Think about it. They don't have time to read, guys. They need something that they can absorb really quickly. And 95% of speakers don't know how to approach event planners. They don't know how to talk to them. There is a language. And by the way, these day and age, now, today, there are more millennial event planners than there were ever before. They do things differently. They act differently. They respond differently. 88% of new speakers are speaking for no fee. Why? Because they want exposure, right? Let me tell you what I tell them. You want more exposure? Go outside. The sun will give you plenty, all right? Right? I mean, I know some of you are, hysterically laughing, but the truth of the matter is that it's true. Exposure is giving your information for free is not a good thing, because guess what? The event planners now are thinking differently. Why pay for the milk if I can get the whole cow for free? So you need to earn respect in this industry. You need to earn the respect of the industry and be paid. The more you speak for free, the more you're ruining it. You're ruining it for you and for everybody around you. The worlds are women, just 1%. We're not even at 2% in 2021, end of 2021. We're almost in 2022, and we've barely made it to 1.8%. Barely. that's really, angering me. I'm sorry. I don't really say I'm ever get angry. I'm always in a good mood, but this really angers me because I've been fighting for women speakers for the past 5 years. It's so important for us to get out there. We have power, so much power. Not guys, Larry, not that we don't like the men in this industry. We love the men, but they have it easy. Seriously, at the end of the day, because they are willing to ask for the money, right? So that's really what the difference is. But here's really cool stuff that you probably didn't know. 2% of bookings are made in the first contact, 3% in the second, 5% in the third, but 80% are made within the 7th and the 12th contact. It's like, did I hear an OMG? Can somebody put OMG in the chat? Like, seriously, that is ridiculous that it takes 7 to 12 times to actually get booked. Are you willing to do the work? And 48% of speakers never even follow up with an event planner. Is that sick or what? 48% of speakers in the world don't even follow up with the event planners. No, I'm serious, Laura. I love that little sign. I used to have them at my conference. She has a stop it. That is so cute. Laura, hold it up again. That was hysterical. But that's the truth. 48% want to get paid, but they never follow up with event planners. You know why? Let me tell you. Because they don't have their together. They don't have their information together. They're not ready. They're not packaged properly. So they wait a week or two before they get back to the event planner. And by then, do you think the event planner had time to wait? Remember, they're 6th on the most stressful jobs in America, Canada, and the United States. So they definitely don't have the time to follow up with you. You got to give it to them within 3 seconds. I had a guy come on with a discovery session with me. And by the way, you're all welcome to have a free session with me. That's my first gift to you. It's 20 minutes. And don't worry, I am not pitching to you or anything like that. Let's just talk about what you want to do. And if I need to give you advice, you got my time, my whole full attention for 20 minutes. Is that cool? So we'll put my link in the chat. What I want you to know is, a guy came on a discovery session with me, and he was all up in a heave. Oh my God, I went on vacation for a week. I sent a few emails before I left. When I came back, I got a few emails that they're interested in hiring me. And when I followed up with them, they said that they hired the first 3 speakers that answered. And he was all up in a roar, like, oh my God, can you believe this? Can you believe? I'm like, who are you? Who do you think you are? Because at the end of the day, there's 20 behind you that want the same job. So be ready to know how to serve the event planner. You're not here to serve the audience. Get that out of your head. That's a myth. The audience is not who we're serving. We're serving event planners. So it's a big shift for speakers, right? A very big shift. By the way, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think you are a good speaker? And by the way, if you're passionate about anything, I can tell you right now, you're a good speaker. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a good speaker. And again, if you are passionate about anything, you are a good speaker. All right, so put a 1 in the chat for that. Thank you. Put a 2 in the chat if you think you have a good message. And by the way, if you're passionate about that one thing, guess what? You have a good message. Everybody with me so far? So put a 2 in the chat for that. Cool. Put A or B, or just write the word both if you think, which one you think the event planner is more interested in. A, you as a speaker, or B, your message, or both. You have to write the word both. Let's get everybody in there and say what you think the event planners are most interested in. Is everybody good? Yeah, okay, people are still answering. That's good, that's good, that's good. I can see that. Awesome, 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 awesome. Very cool. If everybody is ready, the answer is neither. I know, gotcha. Just saying if you're paying attention, haha. But let me explain. Most speakers think about, oh, well, I don't know if I'm a good speaker. I started yesterday. today? I don't know about my message. What do event planners are looking for? What's really working out there? You're not here to fit the masses. You're here to fit your purpose, right? We're not here to fit the masses. We are here to fit our purpose, right? What I speak about, Laura may not be speaking about, but at the end of the day, there is a need for what Laura has to say, and there is a need for what I want to say, but that's not for us to judge. The audience that's going to be there is going to get the message whether you like it or not, whether they like you or not, and it's okay. In every audience, somebody likes you and somebody doesn't like you, and it's okay, right? Some will, some won't. Who cares? Who's next? That's my little motto that I go with every single day. Some will, some won't. Who cares? Who's next? And it helps me get through my day because, you know, you can't sell to everybody and you can't please everybody. That's a fallacy, right? So it's all about perception. What happened during the pandemic and how we're getting out of it is a perception thing. It's kind of eerie, actually, to look at this guy because you don't know if he's looking at you or away from you. That's the cool part. And I just love this analogy because it's so important. How you perceive this industry to be. During the pandemic, everybody was in a panic. So many people fell off the planet, right? So what happened? There are 64,000 events a day in America. Prior to pandemic, almost 78,000 events a day. 64, I just didn't move the needle, right? Not much. Now, let me explain what really happened. Let's separate all these events into 3 segments. So a third canceled without any plan of anything, right? They just canceled because they didn't know. None of us were ready for this, and none of us knew what to do next. The other third just were ready to switch and goes on virtual. And they just tell you this, I was a part of those. So what they did is sent all the speakers and all the attendees a new link, a new this, and here we go, we're going Zoom, and Zoom just, exploded. I mean, how many of you would have liked to know this in December 2019 and buy some shares in Zoom, right? I know I would have, right? Right, Sally? Definitely, because it increased 300,000%. That's the cool part about it. All right. So what happened was those people were just ready to switch over to virtual, and they didn't miss a beat. The third is what I really want you to understand. The third postponed their events automatically with the venue for the next year, 2021 or even 2022, with a contingency that they might go virtual. But by then they would be ready. So they didn't have a problem there. What they did have a problem with is that these speakers were canceling on them. Yes, Sally, I read your lips. Really? Yes. Literally, the speakers were not able to make the new date. So they had other things planned. So now event planners were scrambling to get speakers so that everything is filled up and ready to go, and so that they can promote the event. So it was amazing. It's just super cool, right? And what you need, so why am I telling you all this? And I know you want to get to the nitty gritty, Orly. How do I get booked? What do I do? Blah, blah, blah. But I want you to understand that your mindset is 10 times more important than the physicality of what you're going to do to get booked. It's not enough to just know how to get booked. It's very important to have the right stuff in order. And it's super important to understand the mindset you need to have in this business, because not every day is going to be rosy, guys. It's hard work. There's 2 reasons why speakers don't make money. One, they don't know how. Can't blame them for that. And 2, I'm sorry to say it, but they're lazy. They don't want to do the work. They think that they can be home and write a book and have a podcast and that they're going to get speaking gigs from that. That's never going to happen that way. Maybe good content is good content, but it's for those who are looking for content. It's not for those who are looking for speakers. And do you think they're going to come to you? You got to go to them. We're going to talk about that. And so it's important to understand the mindset that is necessary for this business. Everybody with me so far? I hope I'm getting some thumbs up or something, right? So I have been speaking full time for 24 years. My biggest paid gig is 20,000, 7,000 people. I've published a few books. I am the founder of the Global Mentoring, Coaching, and Publishing. If you ever want to know more about that, you can contact me. And as I mentioned, I interviewed 3,400 people for my event planners for my book. And my new book is really going to be exciting. All right. Often people who criticize your life are the same people who don't know the price you paid to get there. Today, why I do what I do, because I can save you 10 years of learning, 10 years of mistakes, 10 years of wasting time, 10 years. What I used to do 12 hours a day, I teach you to do 1 hour a day. So it's a big deal. So it's very important that you understand that it took me a long time to have the best formula possible for you to be able to book yourself. And I will share with you how you can get booked. So I've shared the stage with John Maxwell and Omar Periu, and all these guys have spoken at NASDAQ, yada, yada, yada. Nobody cares. I want you guys to understand what I just did. Nobody cares where you've been, NBC, CBS, Fox, yada, yada, yada. You've met Tony Robbins in person. You've met Oprah in person. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know, I have Tony Robbins' son number on speed dial. We've been friends forever. He spoke on my cruise ship. Like, who cares? Nobody cares. If you want to name drop and all this nonsense, it's nothing. Nobody cares. So remember that. In 2010, I was speaking after a long tour in Europe. I've spoken in 27 countries and 18 states so far. I think we have 28 countries now, but let me say, I think Grenada is a country, and I think that was my 28th country. Anyways, because it's just an island in the Caribbean, so I don't know if I can count it as a country. Anyway, in 2010, I was coming back from a very long tour in Europe, and I was speaking in Arlington, Texas, and I was in the break room, and I love telling this story because it'll bring it home to you guys. I was in the break room for speakers at this event, and these three guys came over to me, and one of them said, "Aren't you Orly Amor?" And I said, "Yeah, do I know you? Sorry, I don't remember." And he says, no, we've never met before, but we've seen you on the circuit. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so we started talking, and at one point, one of them says to me, "I'm just curious, how did you get this gig?" I said, "I don't know. I called, I told them what I speak about. They paid me, and I'm here." They all looked at me like if I had three heads. "You got paid?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, you guys didn't?" They're like, "No, we got our expenses paid, but we didn't get paid." I said, "Oh, no, I got paid and I got my expenses paid." And so the aha moment for me in my brain was like, "Oh my God, how come speakers don't get paid? What's going on?" You know, like it was one of those switches, right? And I don't like it when there's something that's unfair. So that's what freak me out. For anything that's unfair done to you or me, I just don't like it, right? And so they said, "So we want to know how you did that." And jokingly, by now, I hope you guys understand my personality. I love to bust people's chops. So I said, "Well, if I tell you, I'm going to have to charge you." And I was just kidding because I wasn't even coaching at the time. Before I could say just kidding, they're like, "Okay, name your price." And I'm like, "What?" Right? Like, have you ever had that duh moment? I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Me, coach? I don't want to coach. That is crazy." So we exchanged cards, and I left from there. But just to let you know, these three guys actually hired me later on for my program, and two of them are making between $300,000 and $400,000 now for a year for the past 6 years, and one of them made $1.2 million in 2017. It's one of my big success stories, so I love sharing it. All right, moving on. So getting booked. Let's get to it, right? I mean, you go to them or they come to you. It's $100 billion a year industry. And what you don't know is that the brokerage firm has said that now by the end of 2022, we will increase that number to 13.2 billion more money spent on events and meetings and so on. That's 64,000 events still a day in America alone. This is not the world. Sally's in Australia. I don't know what the number is over there, but it's pretty good. I know that because a lot of my friends are getting booked in Australia. I just have it on my bucket list to get to you. All right. Now, the NSA, the National Speakers Association, in 2017 wrote an article that said that the average speaker makes $177,000 a year. Well, I have nothing against the NSA, but I know for a fact that their average speaker makes $30,000 a year. The people who are making more than 150, which is minimum wage in public speaking, those are people who have been in NSA for 20 more years, 20 years plus or 15 years plus. How much money can you make in this business? How do you price yourself, right? This is good stuff, right? Am I giving you good stuff? So can you put a 1 in the chat if you think? Right? There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I just want to make sure people are paying attention, really. Awesome. Thank you for participating. So if you're just a beginner, you can make between 1,000 and 5,000, but maybe you are more than 1,000. Maybe you're a little less than 5,000, but do you know where you stand here? Because this is not my value. This is industry value. So you need to know where you stand, where to start industry value way, right? Up and coming speakers, corporate speakers, 5,000 to 10,000. Professional corporate speakers, 10 to 20,000. Best-selling authors, meaning New York Times best-selling, not Amazon bestseller, yes. B-list celebrity is about 20 to 50,000, and celebrity speakers about 50,000 plus. But people like Tony Robbins get about $120,000 just to show up. Forget speaking, just to show up. $250,000 if you want him to speak for 45 minutes. So yeah, he got the status. He's basically opened all the doors for us. Why not? God bless, and moving on, right? Speakers want to be paid, but forget who they serve. As you heard me say earlier, you serve the event planner, right? I'm just watching for the time, making sure that I'm on time. So that's really what you need to keep in mind constantly, that it's not the audience. You're not going to fit the audience. You're going to fit the event planner. So variety, diversity, being a woman, big plus, yay. All right. So I can promise you, most of you don't have what it takes. I didn't say what it takes, oh gosh, Orly. Your pictures are hiding what I'm about to show you. This is what most speakers in the industry are lacking, all right? Forms, calendar, follow-up systems, tracking systems, and this is just to name a few. So besides the speaker sheet, besides the descriptions of your talk, besides your bio in the right way, you are missing, or you're not missing, these things. But if you're working on that before working on what you really need, you're missing the boat. And so it's very important to be a good business owner, right? And I'm going to give you the analogy for that. Where can you speak? Corporations, associations. Churches, not as much right now. Nonprofits, very big, but only the ones that are big. The smaller ones don't have the money to pay you. Government and military, OMG. Once you get in, you have money for life. Why is that? It just takes a little longer. The negotiation process is just a little longer than normal events. But once you have your preferred vendor for them, that's it. That's the only one they're going to call. Colleges and universities, they have money. They say they don't. Now, Harvard doesn't pay people. So people who say, oh, I spoke at Harvard, well, good for you. I know they didn't pay you because they don't pay speakers at Harvard. Good for you to have that on your credit, on your resume, right? It's a credit to your credibility. I don't know, maybe, right? Because I've seen speakers there that are horrible, and there's nothing I can say about that. My point to you is that, again, nobody cares. Don't drop, name drop. Doesn't work in this industry anymore. So just so colleges and universities get huge, can I say that again? Huge money to pay speakers from the outside. They get a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. If you know that, how would your negotiation be if you know that, right? Oh, right. Yes, Orly. It would be so cool to know that they have the money. So here's what I do when I do talk to them and they say they have no money. I'm like, listen, I know you get money from the government and I know you didn't use it for speakers, but what's left from it? What's left from that budget, you know? Because I'd like to have whatever's left from that budget or a portion of it, right? Believe me, they'll change their way of talking immediately. All right. And governments, I mean, there's so many departments, my goodness, you can speak. And education, of course, that's a new one from a few years ago now, but it's pretty new to our industry. So my point is that you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Somebody knows your potential, can show you the way. And that's an Orlyism. Actually, my clients called it an Orlyism. So I'm just saying. All right. Before I get to that, I'd love to tell you that story. But before I get to that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Very important. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, good to know. Yeah, okay. So how do you get paid and how do you find gigs? Google is your best friend. So I'm going to show you how, though. I want you to, if you're already on a computer right now, I want you to go on Google Chrome, if you have it. I want you to open a new browser. And on the right-hand side, what you will see is Gmail, and you will see also images. And I want you to click on images. Then you're going to see the word Google and images underneath it. And in that chat box, you're going to write the word that of the conferences you would like to speak at. I'll give you an example, leadership, right? You would like to speak at a leadership conference? Put the word leadership conference. Don't put a year in it. Just put leadership conference. Cool? Is everybody following me? Because this is a get it done.
Do you mean under the images?
Yes. So put leadership conference, but don't put a year on it, right? Because here's what you need to know. There's a phenomenon that's happening out there is that when you look for a conference, and Orly, why are you making us go through images? Nobody's asking, why are you making me go through, through images? Because you don't want every single event that's happening in America. If you would look for events or conferences, you will get a lot of different conferences and things that are not necessarily things that you want to be a part of. So if each of you just took a word and looked up leadership conferences or business conferences or HR conferences or other conferences like that, then what you need to remember, you need to have Chrome in order to get this right, but try and get Chrome if you can. It's not that hard. Chrome is good. It's just another search engine. Whether you have Edge or anything like that, Chrome is best. I was just going to say it that way. You need to remember a few things. One is that for each word, yes, I know, right, Teresa? So many. But if you scroll down, wait till you see how many. I can actually lose some skin from my finger from scrolling down, okay? This is so cool. I told you, 64,000 events a day, not every month or year, a day. You can find for every single type of event, word. But I want you to remember something and write this down. Let's say we're talking about, can somebody just name a conference that they would like to look for besides leadership and something that everybody wants? Anybody has a conference that they want to, like maybe a real estate conference, or maybe, does anybody have, or investor conference, right? Something weird, right? Awesome. So if you look up that word, you have to look up also, when you ran out of images, which you will not, you want to look up, what did I say? What kind of conferences I just said? I love it. Digital Nomads Conference. All right, good. Look that up. And then also look up Digital Nomads Digital Conference, right? Or virtual conference, right? Sorry, virtual conference. And then put in, then you can also write down virtual summit, virtual summit, and meeting and virtual meeting. So for each word, you basically have 6 types of conferences to look for. You will never run out of work, ever. So this is my other gift to you. Oh, you guys are so cute. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Yes, no problem. I will finish on time. And I see that there's also a question of somebody that worked in the Pentagon for 5 years, right? And I want to answer that question because it's so important. Worked for the Pentagon for 5 years and managed the family advocacy program for Europe, yet finished in 2009. How relevant might it I be? Very relevant. You can go into other programs. They have so many other programs and departments. There's other departments in military and other that are actually hiring speakers, but you can be relevant to other people. It's family advocacy programs. Let me explain what you are like. You have to think about. People are going to these conferences. There are parents, there are grandparents, they have, does that make sense? Is everybody with me on that? Is there, Sally, you were shaking your head. Is it at me or did I say something wrong? She's so cute. Oh, you think I don't watch you guys? I am looking right at you. Okay, so you have to understand that your topic, whatever it is, there's somebody that's willing to pay for it. That's my slogan, by the way. If you have a message, somebody is willing to pay for it. So some of you might think you need a book. You don't need a book, but I have an anthology book coming up that is only $250 to be in it. And you can be an instant international bestseller because we guarantee it for $250. Crazy money. I'm telling you, that can happen to you immediately. That's if you need it. You want credibility, and then if your book comes out later on, you can use the badge of international bestseller. So please contact me for that, or Linda even. Linda has the information. Now, we are launching something extremely amazing, and that is, do you want to do this search by yourself and go nuts, or do you want to have 100 leads given to you every single week? That's 400 events a month. Put a 1 in the chat if you want that, because that's what's really important here, is that you don't do the work of searching for hours and hours and hours. Why don't we just give you 100 leads every single week? That's only one of the benefits, and it's called Speaker Nexus. Speaker Nexus is a membership, and a membership of only $1,500 a year. Think about how many you're getting, 400 a month, and this is not the only thing. You're gonna be in 2 different magazines. One of them is mine, called Speakers and Experts Magazine and Directory, going out to 62,000 event planner that actually look for speakers and pay speakers, and they all opted into this magazine. And the other magazine is from another colleague of mine. So what I'm telling you now is that this is just 2 highlights. I'm sure that if you want more information, I would just say, go to our website and get it, because it's so much stuff. You're going to be also invited to some of my workshops, and that's included. I mean, that's not something that you can know about outside of Speaker Nexus. This is completely for Speaker Nexus. So getting access to me, Leadership Global and Leadership and Speaker Nexus have combined our efforts basically. And what I want to say is, Linda, I love you for coming on this journey with me. We've been looking for something that doesn't sound like a speaker bureau, because I'm going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time. Speaker bureaus don't work for the speakers. They work for the clients. So you might not get booked. And if you don't make $20,000 for every gig, they're not even going to look at you. Yeah, you're going to be a part of their platform, and they're going to give you a picture and your bio and blah, blah, blah. But this is not what this is about. This is about giving you the leads that you can contact immediately. You don't need me. Does that make sense? And I'm a lot more expensive, by the way. So I'm just saying, if you wanted to do your business, I can help you formulate your business so you can contact these leads better. But if you just want the leads, it's super, super easy. You just have to be a part of Speaker Nexus. So easy. How many of you think this is cool? Because I think it's super exciting, because I've been waiting 20 years to see this happening. If you understand what I went through to get leads, to get booked, This is what this is about. This is so important. Now you can get virtual speaking gigs. One of my clients just got booked for a 20-minute virtual speaking for $3,000. I want 10 of those a day, I told her. Are you kidding? I want 30 grand a day. Like, oh, sure, Orly, you'll speak for 20 minutes, get $3,000. I'll work for that, guys. I don't care what you think, but I'm telling you right now, I would do this every day, all day if I could, right? I get speaking gigs at least 8 to 12 a month. That's my minimum. Anything above that is a cherry on the icing, right? I mean, literally. But what you want to know is that how badly do you want to do this business? I know I have only a few minutes left, so I'm going to just say this. And this is my guru story, which you've seen the slide already. There is a lot of people that want to do what we do. They want to make the same money that we do, right? 150K a year, which I guarantee in writing is minimum wage. Now, how badly do you want to do this business? How badly do you want to get out there? How badly do you want your message to be to the masses instead of just in your own backyard? Because you can go in your own backyard. There's a lot of opportunities in your own backyard. But how do you go about it at large and people to know about you and becoming an influencer? Does that make sense? All right. So here's what I want to share with you. The guru story is going to take me exactly 2 minutes to tell. There was a guy that went to this conference and he saw this big guru on stage and the guy was showing his cars and the money and everything. And that gentleman came up to him later on and he said to the guru, he said, I'd like you to mentor me. I want you to take me under your wing. I'm willing to pay any price for you to coach me. The guru said, no, 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 no. And they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until the guru said, you know what, enough. You want me to coach you? Fine. Be on the beach tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. The guy shows up at 5:30 a.m. dressed up into the nines, like he has a tie and a suit and shoes on the beach. And the guru is wearing like flip-flops and a t-shirt, right? And the guru says to him, take off your shoes, take off your tie and your jacket, come and walk with me. And they're walking towards the water. They're in the water now, and the water gets to their knees, to their thighs, to their waist, to the neck. And the guru takes the young boy's head and shoves it under the water and holds it there until a few seconds later, he lets the young man out, and the young man just gasps for air. And the guru looks at him and says, so when you were underwater, what were you thinking? Did you think about my cars? Did you think about the money I make? Did you think about my beautiful house, castle, boat, and so on? What did you think about? The young man was yelling at him, are you crazy? I was thinking about breathing. I needed to breathe. So want this as you want air. You gotta want this. This is not an easy ride. It's not a walk in the park. It's work, but only 1 hour a day, really, and a good system to follow up and follow through. Linda, did I do okay on time? You are muted.
That was perfect. And in the chat, I actually added for everyone a little bit of information about your upcoming speakers training that you're holding in Dallas.
Oh, thank you.
No money at all. So if you want to talk just a moment about that, and then I'll wrap up.
Okay, so I do a speaker training bootcamp live event, and I bring one more speaker that is actually doing it for 26 years and a great friend of mine. We give you feedback on your speaking, but we teach you how to do it too. So you get to speak a few times, practice your speech, get feedback, and at the end of the speaker training bootcamp, you are an evolved speaker with so many tools to get out there and definitely get the value. So you are also invited to by being a part of the speaker training bootcamp, you will be invited also to our mixer on Monday night. It's Monday and Tuesday, December 6th and 7th. And we made it super affordable. It's only $297. Why? Because you still have to pay for the hotel and your travel. If you're traveling from another place into Texas, although it's not a lot of money for the flight, it's still, it's a little bit of change, it's still some chunk of change. So I would say we used to charge for this $2,000 per person, and we do it everywhere in the country, Las Vegas, Pennsylvania, New York. This time we're doing it in Dallas, and we've really lowered the price because we want you to be there. We don't want you to have the excuse of, oh, well, it's too expensive, and then I have to pay for a hotel, and then I have to pay for the flight. So we made sure that everybody can make it. I would invite you to sign up because the space will be limited to so many. And so the first come, first served. Thank you, Linda, for letting me share that, and really excited. And we also put the link for the 365 days of inspirational quotes, which that can give you the opportunity to get your page in the book for $250 or even for $147 if it's a random page. So there you go. And you have to put a code in that says OCT October 15. OCT 15 will lower the price immediately from where it's at to the amount that I'm telling you. And we can get you to, yeah, thank you.
That was amazing, Orly. Thank you so much. There were so many little nuggets of inspiration and insight and really actionable information in your talk, and I am super grateful for that. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Linda Fisk. I'm the CEO of Leadership Global, and I'm absolutely passionate about working with executives and influencers like all of you who want to create big impact and big income, maximizing your personal brand, raising your profile, expanding your influence across a whole variety of media platforms. So whether it's sharing your valuable content through podcasting, through content platforms, through digital media or television, I really believe that the future of business growth is in leveraging your thought leadership and connecting with other purpose-driven leaders like the ones you'll find in Leadership Global. They are dedicated to accelerating the success of every single woman that's a part of Leadership Global. So if you want to learn more about our supportive, trusting community of other influential, recognizable, and highly connected business leaders, please don't hesitate to reach out. It would be my pleasure and my honor to connect with any and all of you. Please, if you're interested in connecting with Orly Amor to learn more about her coaching, to ask questions, to dive in more deeply, take advantage of her generous offer to meet with any of you for 20 minutes, one-on-one, for a personal consultation, to answer any questions, to dive in more deeply, and to be sure that you are on the path of success as a public speaker. Whether you want to be just simply a more compelling, engaging speaker, or you really want to make this a lucrative career, Orly can help you, absolutely. And if you'd like to join her 2-day business summit for public speakers, please be sure to sign up. I included the link and the information in the chat. It is unbelievably affordable, like crazy affordable. And Orly did that very purposefully to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to begin this journey of being a really popular public speaker that builds a lucrative career. Literally, I've never seen a 2-day business summit this affordable. And the other opportunity is to check out Speaker Nexus. If you're interested in receiving 100 speaking leads a week, getting a professional speaker's reel pulled together, developing a speaker's bio, and being highlighted in 2 speaker magazines, please feel free to join. I will tell you that is an incredibly affordable price for all the value that you'll be receiving. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I hope that's helpful. I hope everyone found incredible value from today's conversation. And I would just say, I'm happy to stay a little bit later. If anyone has any questions, Orly and I can hang out and answer any personal questions you may have.